we just got through some emotional stuff, and now we're going to get down to the discipline, okay? Dr. Janowitz talks about rules. I know not everybody likes that word, but it actually can be a very positive thing. So tell us how important rules are in this whole process of getting our health in order.
Sure. Well, any person who's successful in life has a lot of discipline in whatever it is that they're doing. If you look at what they're doing, it doesn't happen haphazard. There's an intention, there's rules behind that. But when you look in this chapter 2, there's a lot of rules that we create either unconsciously or consciously, and rules then create and really support beliefs. So it's really a subchapter of the beliefs and limiting beliefs section. So, I remember when I was going to premarital counseling with my wife, which I definitely encourage people to do. I think it's a great investment. But we were going to our church, and my wife is a very fun-natured woman, she's just this great energy, I said I married her for entertainment value.
She's very joyful.
She is very joyful.
I love Dawn's personality.
Yes.
Always so happy.
She is. And so when we went to counseling, they said, marriage is what? And they asked my wife that, and my wife goes, marriage is, she goes, marriage is fun.
Oh.
And that was her answer.
I wish that was my answer.
So she says marriage is fun. And then what was really mind-blowing is the limiting beliefs of the pastor who was counseling us came out. And he says, now, Dawn, I want you to have a realistic expectation. Marriage isn't always going to be fun. And, you're going to have hard times. So if you have that filter, it's going to create problems in your life. And she says, no. She goes, no, marriage is going to be fun. She goes, I understand there's going to be hard times in life, but by and large, marriage is going to be fun. And I think it was just a global belief that, life is fun. And, Dawn really likes to have fun. And that's what, for me as a person who is such an achiever and always grinding and can work 14-hour days in patient care and just get really into serving people and, doing all this, having someone like that stabilized me in a lot of ways. But I love the belief of that, and it really that conversation got me in recognizing this thing of rules. And so when you look at things like this, you want to look at the major categories like health is what, or getting healthy is what. If someone says getting healthy is work, well, how you define that rule is how you're going to be approaching it. Or if you said marriage is work, well, then marriage is going to be work. You know what I mean? If you think that your work life or your career is hard or difficult or adversarial, well, guess what? What you declare it as a possibility, as we talked about before, is going to be it. So you want to be conscious rather than unconscious of what your rules are. What do you think your rule has been in terms of getting healthy? What has been your rule about exercise? What has been your rule about relationships? What's your rule about fun? Is fun optional? Recreation optional? I mean, what are these things for you? Recognize what they are and then start to consciously define what you want them to be, and then you will start working towards that way and literally attracting the people that are consistent with that and have that level of vision and goals and purpose.
So they should have a pencil and an eraser when they fill out these blanks,
yes.
So that you can go against your first instinct and change it to something positive, right?
Yes, absolutely. And ask yourself, what would life look like, or what would that create for me if that was to be a rule that I lived? Like if I lived a life that health was this, what would that create for me? And so that would help lend into those possibilities that we talked about earlier.
And so you refer to that as the acting if rule, is that right?
Yes, acting as if. So you want to act as if you were already doing that. So if I acted as if I was energized and vibrant and healthy, what would that look like? And so a lot of times you just have to start playing that role, and then it might feel uncomfortable and incongruent at first, but start playing with that role of who you want your future self to be. And then as you start to play that role, you will get reinforced by the emotional states that you feel or the health benefits that you receive.
Right.
And you will do that, right? So I don't love exercise, but I love when I'm engaged in that process. So I start acting as if I'm, the exercise person. And then like Arnold Schwarzenegger is walking the room. It's like who's walking in the room? Like if I want to be this romantic person, well, to my wife, I need to enter the room in that way. I need to act as if that's the level that I want to play.
It sounds like a very healthy condition. If you act as if, then eventually these things will just automatically manifest in our lives.
Yes, as long as it's congruent with your values and your viewpoint, and that's why that's all the foundation.
Sure.
Yeah, it's great.
Excellent. So start acting as if.
Yes.